Long? Yeah. Thank you. Happy Ram Navami to everybody. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Tyambakaya Tripurantakaya Tikalagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Nilakantaya Mityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Sahna Bhavatu Sahna Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are on verse 5 of chapter 10. Just a couple of chants before we start. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. So verse 5. Ahimsa samata tushti, ahimsa samata tushti, tapodanam yasho yasha, bhavanti bhava bhutanam, matta eva prithigvidaha. So ahimsa means no tendency to hurt. Ahimsa is a siddha vishaya, means it's a natural state for everybody. So to break ahimsa, you have to do something. So it implies either by walk or by kaya, by your physical body, walk or manasa. So you have to, these three are involved to create himsa. Ahimsa is natural. You don't have to do anything. So when a thought arises of doing ahimsa, how should we resolve it? You resolve by your commitment that you value ahimsa, you don't want to hurt anybody. Okay? And your will is involved. By will says, I don't want to hurt anybody, because there is a law of karma. Even if somebody hurts you, the law of karma states that everyone has to pay the karma phala. It's avashyam bhavi. So from your side, it should not come to hurt somebody. Now, why would the people have thought of himsa? Hurting. In families also we see. I don't know, people complain, my spouse suddenly gets very angry without any reason. Anger comes. Why is that? The reason which Puja Swamiji gave, that is certain background. It's upbringing, how you were brought up, how was your childhood, how were your surroundings. They all affect your personality. And if there was abuse in the childhood or there was injustices done to you, there will be anger buried inside. So that causes, that buried anger comes out in uncontrolled way. So how would you deal with the anger? Suddenly the person becomes angry at your home. What we recommend is open communication, understanding of the background, what the person has gone through. Go through their childhood. When in counseling, when somebody comes, I strongly believe in their upbringing. And I'll go into the childhood. Were there any traumas? Were there any traumas in school? All this, they make the personality of the person. So when you explore the childhood and the buried material comes out, the person feels relieved. It's good to talk to the person, communication. And if suppose the person is not doing what they're supposed to do in their duties at home, rather than saying, why didn't you do this? You always hurt me. Pointing fingers, you say, if you do this, what it does to me? It really causes me pain. When you don't do your own job, when you speak like this to me, rather than saying, why do you speak like this? Say, when you speak like this to me, it hurts me. It will create more sympathy when the person sees the other person is hurt, rather than pointing the finger at the other person. And ahimsa is not only for so ahimsa implies dhamma and shama. Dhamma is controlling your sense organs of action, that's dhamma. Shama is at the mind level. When a thought arises, you have to let it go. Again, what we said earlier, that thought has to be resolved by your commitment, by your self-control, that I don't want to hurt anybody. This is my commitment. And also one more thing, not to be indifference towards other fellow beings. Not only you're doing it consciously, himsa, but even being indifference to other living beings, animals, plants, to be conscious and the environment, because they all are our friends. If they are destroyed, we are also destroyed. So not just go on picking the leaves or cutting the trees. We here don't believe in cutting the trees. Sometimes for construction we have to cut the trees. We plant 10 more times the trees, because they are living beings. And sanctity of rivers, we worship people tree, because trees are also living beings. Hence the tendency to be careless has to be curbed. In Jain Dharma, they go one more step. In Jain Dharma, when they walk, if you see the monks, Jain monks, they will sweep the floor before they walk. And that too, not regular broomstick, no. It's a feathers broom, so that no living being is hurt when they walk. They're very, very conscious. And Buddha also has very big value for ahimsa. And our Vedic Dharma also, ahimsa paramo dharmaha, is the basic value. And when you have ahimsa, the other dharma values, dharma gets taught to you through ahimsa. You develop compassion, understanding of other persons when there is ahimsa value. It's a basic value. See, also it's a natural there. You don't want to get hurt. Similarly, the other persons don't want to get hurt. So dharma and common sense, which is given by Bhagwan, which is Bhagwan itself, is you want to follow dharma and ahimsa. Okay, the next one is samatha. Samatha is evenness of the mind. Siddhi asiddhiyoho. In pleasant situations or unpleasant situations, your mind remains same. You don't get disturbed. That you have to develop. That is called samatha. Siddhi asiddhiyoho samatvam yoga uchyate. That is the real thing of karma yoga. Karma yoga is to have the mind samatvam. And how do you develop samatvam? You work so hard, and you worked so hard to apply for an admission in a college, but you didn't get it. Definitely you're going to get sad. And you worked so hard to develop your business, it did not succeed. Sometimes it succeeds, so your mind becomes very happy or becomes down. So how would we bring this samatvam, evenness of the mind? Is by karma yoga. Karma yoga is that karmas are avashyam, karma phalas are avashyam bhavi. The result will come. That's the law in the Vedas. The law of karma. So whatever you do, it will bring results. But how to handle the results which are not conducive to me, which I did not expect. So that way the karma yoga is, you offer all your activities, because you don't know all the factors involved in your success or in your unpleasant situations. So since you don't know the factors, the one who has the law of karma phala data, Ishvara, he knows all the factors. Why? Because all our karmas are interlinked with each other. It's not singular, one person has their own karmas independent of the whole society. No. Your karmas are interlinked with your spouse, with your children, with your relatives, with your boss, with your office. It's a maha order karma, law of karma. And they say, karmana gehno gati. It's very difficult to understand. Karma's gati. So what should we do? Well, you applied for it, or you started a business, you offer it to Ishvara. Because where the results come from? Ishvara. Law of karma is whose? Ishvara. In fact, the law of Ishvara is in the form of law of karma. Karma phala data. So what comes from Ishvara, how should you take it? As a prasada. Like you do in the temple. You offer something, whatever the priest gives you back, it's a prasadam. You receive it with certain reverence, with humility, with respect, because it's coming from Bhagavan. Even when you are diabetic, you have diabetes, and then somebody comes from Balaji temple and gives you a laddu. You're not supposed to eat laddu, but it's from Balaji. Oh, prasadam. You accept it with reverence. So then what happens to you? You can just relax. You put your effort, do your best. Do your best at home, duties also, with children also. Do your best, and whatever the results come is prasadam. It's coming from Ishvara, that's fine. And then you can just relax. The stress is reduced. Otherwise, person is depressed, sad if things don't go well, very happy if things go well. But then we knowing that things which go very well are only temporary. Things don't go very well are also temporary. But our mind goes yo-yo, up and down. So karma yoga is the technique mentioned here to have samatha, evenness of the mind. See, Samatvam Yoga is not opposed to your ambitions. You can earn as much as money you want. You can have your ambitions, but follow dharma. Karma, and do offer it to Ishvara. If you follow dharma, there is in the Shastra there is no prohibition. It's not against your ambitions or your pursuits. Because everything is Ishvara. Even the ambitions are vibhutis of Ishvara, that you can have an ambition. It's coming from Ishvara. When you follow dharma, Ishvara is with you, you are with Ishvara. Because the whole Jagat runs by Ishvara's laws. It's a vibhuti of Ishvara. Okay. Next one is tushti. Tushti means sense of satisfaction. Some people are never satisfied. Doesn't matter what you do. Anything you get from the world, you can always have more. If you have a small house, you wish you could have a bigger house. If you have a bigger house, you wish you have another house for the winter months in Florida. One in the winter, one house for the summer here, one house for the Florida. So there is no end to it. Then you see your brother-in-law, what a nice house he has, why don't we have that? You see other neighbors' houses are not much nicer than yours. So all that, there is no end to it. There is no tushti, there is no santushti. And if there is no santushti, there is no peace of mind. You can't relax unless you get those things. Then you feel down, look down upon yourself. When you see your brother-in-law who has a bigger house, who has a bigger car, you feel you are inferior than the other person. All because of not being satisfied. And when you are santushta, when you are satisfied, you are with yourself. The meaning of santushti is you. And santushti is alam buddhi. Alam buddhi comes when, suppose you invite a guest and you feed the person really well. And the person says, no more. In our Indian, we have a habit of putting one more spoon. Doesn't matter. Person says, no more. So, alam buddhi, enough. That is satisfaction. In Puja Swamiji used to say, in two things there is alam buddhi. One is in the meals, in the food, eating, and the other one is in Vedanta. These two things give you total santushti. Alam buddhi, enough. And this santushti is really a particular frame of mind. It's called contentment, this particular frame of mind. And what is in that frame of mind? People who have santushti, what is that in their frame of mind that they get santushti? It is because of predominance of sattva guna. In Maya Upadhi, sattva guna predominance. And that is in part of Maya Upadhi, that you get a certain punya. It's a result of punya, that you get sense of satisfaction, whatever you have. And you can develop that. It's fine. Everything what I have is fine. My focus is on something else. I want to grow. My personal growth is more important. My fixing my mind is more important. My values is more important. So that tushti is with prayers, you develop sattva. Next one is tapaha. Tapaha is religious discipline. There has to be a body affliction in tapas. And we know commonly that this was a tapaswin, the one who does severe afflictions to the body religiously to gain something else, to gain antakarna shuddhi or antakarna naischalyam, steadiness of the mind. That is tapas. Okay? It has to have some physical affliction, physical pain. Like do fasting is tapas. You know. Tapas also means inquiry. Jnanam is also a word. Tapas means that too. Tapas leads you to Brahman. Tapas is Brahman. So fasting here is missing a meal. Important day, Shivratri. You do fasting, just fruit and milk. You do japa. That's a tapas. There's a Purascharnam. Some people do Purascharnam. Purascharnam is number of syllables in a mantra. And those number of syllables, each syllable, 1 lakh chant you do for each syllable. So that means in Gayatri mantra, there are 24 syllables. So people commit to themselves to do 24 lakhs of Gayatri mantra. That's called Purascharna. I've seen some brahmacharis a few years back in Rishikesh. They were doing Purascharna. One in Rishikesh, one person did Purascharnam of Om Namah Shivaya. Panchakshari, 5 syllables. So 5 lakhs. So this is also tapas. It's not easy to do. 24 lakhs of Gayatri mantra is a big mantra. But they do it. It takes few years, but they do it. That's jap. That's a tapas. Namaskar. I have seen people rolling in a Balaji temple. They're rolling namaskar around the whole temple. They roll themselves. That's tapas. Upasana, meditation, tapas. Yoga asanas are also tapas because there's a body affliction. But there has to be prayers included in it. Then it becomes religious tapas. So tapas is meant for antakarna shuddhi or antakarna naischalyam, steadiness of the mind. And in the Shastra has tapasa brahma vijignyasasva. May you desire to know Brahman by jnanam. Here the tapas meaning is jnanam. So in the Shastra you will see sometime the word tapas for jnanam. So don't get confused. Oh, tapas means tapas, religious, discipline. No, there it means jnanam. And because of the law of karma, you get the result of tapas. There is a result for it. It's a karma. Then you have dhanam. Next one is tushtihi tapo dhanam. Dhanam is giving. So yatha shakti. You give up to your limit. And this one also is from Ishvara alone. It's a vibhuti to give. It says that this disposition to give is a particular punya. Really speaking, not everybody can do that. Only those who can give. Okay? There are some people who can't give at all. And then there are people who give and then they forget about it. Anonymous. So many times people give anonymous donations. That is dana, giving. But one more important thing is important, that you have to see who's the recipient. It should be the right recipient, worthy of your hard-earned money. Patram. That is also very important. And dhanam is in many forms, cash, stocks, land, house, vehicles, food for food pantries. Very important here, there are food pantries for poor people. People give donation to the food pantries. And the poor people go there and pick up the fruit, pick up the food. They are generally in their cans and all that. Not cooked food. Christmas time they have food drive. That's dhanam. People give a lot of dhanam here also, We have to develop a habit of giving. It's important for our own growth. It's for maturity, for you to open your heart, for yourself. It's important. And they say you give until it hurts. If a person is a millionaire, gives you $100, nothing. That doesn't hurt him or her. But it should hurt. You should feel the pinch that I'm giving. I'm parting with this money. So I would say we have to create samskaras. How would you create samskaras? Hey, you give tips. In restaurants, give tip. You go to a Dunkin' Donut or this Starbucks, coffee is $2.50, and the girl there has a small cup there saying tips. You say, well, if I give $1, already coffee is expensive here, $2.50. It becomes $3.50. So if you give $1, it's going to pinch, because now the coffee you're buying is $3.50. But give. Develop a habit. It's good for you. Give 50 cents. Something you give from your hands. Christmas time, Salvation Army is due. You put $1 there. You should have in your pocket some single dollars. Carry with you. Wherever the opportunity comes, give it. Then you become the giver, and you give your good old clothes, shoes to Salvation Army. That's dhanam. Leave the change for donation. These days I like that. You go to grocery store and the bill is $5.50 or $5.60. Then the monitor says, do you want to make it even for 40 cents for donation? Make a donation even. If you can't give more, at least make the donation even. 40 cents, it adds up for them. So you develop a habit of giving. Don't just be indifferent. And donating your time is donation. Time is money. Volunteer work is donation. Very important donation. In fact, in our software, the volunteer work you can add there as their donation, but it's called soft donation. It won't come out as tax exemption, but in your record it will show that this much money was given in other forms, not only cash. So these are opportunities. I strongly believe in that. These are opportunities where we can get rid of our duritas, old papas. Bhagavan provides us opportunities. Watch for them. Don't ignore them. When you get a chance, make use of it. Small little amount. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars, but those who can't afford. They will remove obstructions in your pursuits. Because they give you a small little punya gets added. Next is yashas, fame. That is dharma nimitta kirtihi. Means dharma nimitta kirtihi is you get fame because you did something following dharma. And that, Ishvara gives fame. All this comes from Ishvara. Ishvara gives fame because he did a lot of good work, like charity, etc. People recognize that person as a good and great person. They recognize that. What do they recognize? The goodness in the person. So that means the goodness is valued universally. Everybody acknowledges goodness. And everybody respects goodness. Then you can say, well, I help so many my relatives, but nobody respects me. Nobody acknowledges me. Doesn't matter. Underneath, they do value. If you see the statues in the parks, whose statues do you see? Do you see statues because this person was a millionaire, therefore we are putting a statue here? Or a billionaire? What is valued by the society? The statue is put in, they put the statue, they acknowledge the person because this person did good something for the society, good something for the country, good something for the other nations. For the people. Doesn't matter which nation, for the people. So those statues are placed for that reason. So we have to learn what is really recognized by the people. What is the goodness people feel about it. So don't go compete because other person has more money, therefore money is highly respected. It's a false value. What really matters is your own goodness, what you can do for others. Everybody does for themselves. That's not a big deal. But what can you do for others? That's the yashas. It gives yashas. And the note says that good is Bhagavan. Dharma is Bhagavan. Money earned following dharma can bring yashas. So money is not a bad thing. But following dharma brings yashas. Saving someone's life can bring yashas. Giving dhanam can bring yashas. Then there is next value is, all these come from Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, these are all me. They come from me. I give them this. Because they are all following dharma. Ayashas. Now ayashas is not following dharma, following adharma. It's an ill fame. That Bhagavan says also from me. Because there is nothing which is not from Bhagavan. That is adharma nimitta kirtihi. Is fame born of improper actions. Like Al Capone. You remember Al Capone? You heard about it? It was a mafia gang. So, mafia gang, godfather of mafias. So that also, see, adharma is the other side of dharma. If you rub against dharma, you are following adharma. So that's why it's important not to follow adharma. So fame, you want to fame, you want to have following dharma. Dharma nimitta kirtihi. Now in chapter 15, in chapter 15, Bhagavan says, Smriti jnanam apohanam cha, even apohanam, forgetfulness, it comes from Ishvara. So don't think only dharma is from Ishvara. Only good memory is from Ishvara. Even forgetfulness is from Ishvara. It depends upon our karmas, So Bhagavan says, memory, knowledge, forgetfulness are also from me. Now these, next separate line, second line, bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva prithik vidaha. So, bhavanti, they happen, bhava bhutanam, bhavas, the things of the beings. What are they? Prithik vidaha. They are many and varied. These bhavaha, which Bhagavan has been saying these things of the beings, matta eva, mataha eva, they are from me alone. What is Bhagavan is trying to say? All these are my vibhutis. Don't think you earn it. You put effort, but I give you the opportunity to earn those things. I provide the circumstances. I provide the situations. I remove the factors which are blocks in your pursuit. So don't say that I am the one who did it. It's Ishvara. Makes it happen for you. That's the whole idea. Bhagavan says, from mattaha eva, from me alone. So now question comes, if it's from Bhagavan, is he the one who's distributing these to different people? Because some people are doing very well, some people are not doing very well. Is he favoring people? Those people worship him, they get a lot more benefits than other people? No. Swakarma anurupena, in keeping with their own karmas. Karma phala data is Bhagavan. Even though you do prayers, they are the good karmas. They will give you good karma phala. But that doesn't mean Bhagavan is going to favor. They add up to your punya. And swa karma anurupene, according to one's own karma and one's own efforts, all these take place. This is law of karma, is Ishvara. Now we are next verse 6. Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jataha yesham loka imah prajaha. Maharshaya sapta Maharshaya, 7 rishis, purve, long time ago, long ago, people who lived in the remote past, they are purve. Who are they? Maharshaya sapta, 7 rishis, saptrishis. And they are Bhrigu, Marichi, Atrihi, Pulastayaha, Pulaha, Kratuhu, Vasishtaha. These are the 7 rishis. And you see the constellation also in the sky of 7 rishis, Saptrishi. And who else? Chatvaraha Manvaha. The 4 Manus. In Puranas they mention 14 Manus. But now we are under the rule of Manu called Vaivasvata. Manu, you see when they Sankalpa do, there will be Vaivasvata, Manu. The word will be used because this is the ruling, this is under the rule of Vaivasvata, Manu. And Chatvaraha Manavaha. 4 Manus. In this Manu period, which is Vaivasvata Manu, in this Manu period, there are 4 sub-periods. And they are ruled by 4 Manus. And they have a title of Swarnaha. They all are Swarnaha. So these 4 Manus are Brahma Swarnaha, Rudra Swarnaha, Dharma Swarnaha, Daksha Swarnaha. These 4 Rudras, Chatvaraha, Manvaha, Purve, long ago, they were so how are they created? They are Madbhavaha. Madbhava, Bhagavan says, they are totally absorbed in me. Like as though they have become one with me. And they are, how are they created? Manasa Jataha. By the mind of Bhagavan, these were created. The 7 rishis and the 4 Manus. The Manus came first, then the rishis. And from the rishis, then Yesham, from whom Loke Imah Prajaha. In this world, these prajas, these beings, so they are born from these rishis. So from Bhagavan came, from the mind of Ishvara, came these Manus and Rishis. And then from Rishis came further generations. That's why all of us have Gotras. Which Rishi we are from. And also not only Madbhava. Madhava means they all have also my powers. Shakti, Bhagavan Shakti, because they have to move create the world further down. So they have those powers also. Bhagavan provides them with those powers. Okay, next we move to verse 7. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha so vikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama. This vibhutim, etam is this vibhutim, and yogam, and my connection with the yoga. With the, yogam is my connection with the vibhutis, with this vibhuti, with this my vibhuti, mama is there. Etam mama vibhutim cha yogam, both. Yo veti, the one who knows. Veti is knows. The one who knows tattvataha, in reality, the truth of those. The truth of vibhuti and the truth of yoga. The connection of Bhagavan with the vibhuti. The one who knows. So what happens to that person? Saha avikampena. Unshaken. Yogen yujyate. Unshaken yoga here is vision. The person is gets vision of unshaken vision. Vikampen is shaking, or avikampen, negation in the front, which is unshaken vision. Yoga here is vision. Yogen yujyate, the one gets connected with, gets endured with. There is no doubt about it. Natra samshayaha. So here word you use yoga is two different meanings. First one is vibhutim yogam, means Bhagavan's connection with the vibhuti. Second yoga is vision. What is the vision of the reality? So that one is two different meanings of the same word yoga. Now the question is, what is this vibhutim yogam cha? Vibhutim, Bhagavan says, these are all my vibhutis. All right. But the question is, Bhagavan cannot have any vibhutis. Bhagavan is pure Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. There is no gunas. Sakshi, Cheta, Nirgunascha. That is Bhagavan's definition, Bhagavan's explanation. Then Bhagavan says, these are my vibhutis. But Bhagavan cannot have vibhutis. It's pure consciousness, pure knowledge, pure existence. Satchit Anand Sarupa or Anant Sarupa, Anantyam. So what is the connection here? That's what this verse is trying to say. One who knows in reality what is the connection. Very important point. And all the vibhutis belong to Ishvara. We are not the one who created this. This Jagat is varied, amazing, awesome Jagat. You look at the flowers, you look at the birds, you look at the ocean, the marine beings. Look at them. Look at the sky. Look at the galaxies. We can't even comprehend the vibhutis of Ishvara. So what is the connection here? One side is Bhagavan is nirguna, nirvishesha, no, cannot have any vishesha, cannot change into anything, and the Jagat is all the time changing. And the Jagat is changing, and Bhagavan says, I am the Jagat. That means Bhagavan is changing, but Bhagavan cannot change. It's avvaya. Not possible. If Bhagavan changes, then Bhagavan will also die. So then we have to look at it. What kind of Jagat it is? What kind of these vibhutis are? What is their nature? That's why the word Bhagavan uses, the one who knows the connection. So we have to analyze, what is that vibhuti? What is this Jagat? Jagat is vibhuti. What is it? If you analyze it, you end up with knowledge. There is no other substance. Before last class, I did mention to you, analyze anything. Let's say a leaf here. We see solid leaf with a flower, beautiful flower, and the color and all that is so nice. But what is it? The color you see actually is not the color of the flower. The flower absorbed all other colors except this color, it emitted it out. So you think this is the color of the flower. It's not the color of the flower. This is a trick, Maya trick, Bhagavan's vibhuti. What is it? If you look into it, it's nothing but cells. Different varieties of cells. Different combinations of cells. And cell is a form. It has a name. You can say chlorophyll cell. Different names it has. And if you look into the cell, the other parts are there. If you look into a botany book, look into the cell of a plant. It has a mitochondria. It's a factory. A cell is a factory. It excretes things out. It absorbs things in. It converts it into energy. It's amazing phenomena going on inside one cell. And inside the cell you go, again it's a form which has a name. Form of a mitochondria, you can say mitochondria. Chlorophyll, you can say chlorophyll. It's a name of a form. Now last time we mentioned, a name and form are not two different things. Nama and artha, nama and rupa, name and its meaning. Name and its meaning are one and the same. If I tell you name, pen, you get automatically pen in your mind, a form in your mind. Red rose, you automatically get a red rose in your mind. I only mentioned name. I did not say, now after the name, please imagine the form. That the name itself has the meaning embedded in it. They are inseparable. Sky, you get a sky form. Cloud, you get a cloud form. Since they are inseparable, why don't we just call them name? Since it's understood, it's embedded in it. And what is a name? It's a word. The whole dictionary is what? Nothing but words. And words is knowledge. That's why in one of the Upanishads, Vacha Rambram Vikaro Namadeyam. Vikara, what you call, is nothing but Vacha Rambram, is the beginning of the walk. Just from your walk. Vikara means a modification. It is nothing but in Nama. Nama is word. Word is knowledge. So what is all this? Vibhutis of the Lord, what is it? Nothing but knowledge. Knowledge cannot stand by itself. Knowledge always belongs to a conscious being. So knowledge rests with Ishvara. This is what the trick is. The knowledge rests with Ishvara, name and form. Name is knowledge, without changing Ishvara, without changing its Swarupa. Bhagavan creates the whole thing. The word, the knowledge, Bhagavan manifests the knowledge into Jagat. Because nothing but knowledge, which is Maya Shakti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So the connection of Bhagavan with the Vibhuti is the knowledge, Bhagavan's knowledge. So whole knowledge rests with Bhagavan, the whole Jagat rests in Bhagavan. All of us are in Bhagavan. Our minds are in Bhagavan. And they are special vibhutis. Our deha is amazing, very complex. Our mind is amazing, very complex. Look at the mind. If you think of a yellow rose, then on the top I say next red rose, next white rose. Are they getting mixed up inside the mind? No. That's a vibhuti. So the connection here, the one who knows the connection between Bhagavan and the vibhuti, the Bhagavan's connection with vibhutis, that person, he says, the person is endured with avikampena yogena, the vision which is unshaking. That means the person knows. Because the whole thing is knowledge of Ishvara. So if the whole thing is knowledge, are there fears for you? What you would be afraid of? The whole thing is Ishvara. Anybody you meet is Ishvara, because knowledge of Ishvara. And if you look into our own bodies, it is nothing but tanmatras, combination of tanmatras, put together in different proportions. A body is created. It's a vibhuti, all knowledge. So, now you can say, well, vibhuti is also real, knowledge is also real. It is mithya. Means this Jagat is materialization, the manifestation of the Jagat, of that knowledge, which is transformed into Jagat, is not as real as you think. We just analyze it. Anything you analyze it turns into something else. Cells into further elements. You can keep going further, electrons, protons. Eventually we end up with what? only Ishvara. Is. Ishvara is. Anything you see is. Sat is. So this word is called, there is a word is coined, Satyam, what is Sat, what is truth, what does not change in 3 periods of time. They call Abhaditam. What is Tucham? It does not exist at all, like rabbit's horn. This Jagat is not neither Satyam because it changes, nor Tucham that is not there. It's an in-between reality. You can't describe it as a categorically. There are only 2 things we know. Either it exists or it does not exist. But this thing does not fall into our categories. It's anirvachaniya. It cannot be described categorically. It is sat asatabhyam. It is an in-between reality of Sat and Asat. What should they call it? When you see it, it's constantly changing. Constantly. You can't even define it. Try to define it. The moment you define it, the thing has already changed. It's a drishta nashta subhavaha. You see it's gone. So you see it's gone. You see it's gone. So the word is, they use the word mithya. You see it, therefore it's there. It's there to give you karma phala. That's it. So you can't say because mithya, you don't have to run away. It's mithya. It's like a snake you see on a rope. The moment you look into it, hey, there is no snake, there is a rope. It behaves like a snake. Once you understand, the whole thing is Ishvara. The whole thing yourself is a knowledge manifest of Ishvara. There is no fear. What fear? From what? So this one, avikampena yogin. Avikampena means unshaken vision. Person is very clear about this knowledge. What is satyam? What is mithya? It's like they give example, wave in the ocean. Wave in the ocean, if you see there's a wave. The water says, I don't see any wave. Ocean says, I don't see any wave. You ask wave, hey, you are a wave. What wave? I'm only water. You look at clay pot. If you ask the clay, hey, you are made into a nice pot. I don't see a pot. Clay will say, I don't see a pot. It's only me. Everywhere I look at is only me. There's no pot in me. Same with Jagat does not exist in Ishvara. Say, what Jagat? I don't see any Jagat, Bhagavan says. It's all me. Anywhere I see, it's only me. Even though in clay pot we use 2 words, pot and clay. When you go buy a pot, the guy doesn't give you a lump of clay. Because there are 2 different words we use. So if they are using 2 words, they should represent 2 items. If there are 2 items, let's separate the 2. 1 pot, 1 clay. You can't. One is satyam, the other is mithya. Name form. It's only a nama of a form. There's no other material. There's no other reality. There is no other content. between clay and pot. Similarly here, between Jagat and Ishvara. You can't separate. Here's the Jagat, there are two words, Jagat and Ishvara. Okay, let's separate the Jagat and Ishvara separate here. You can't. Because the very Jagat is all pervaded by Ishvara. The content of the Jagat is Ishvara. The material, the tattva of Jagat is Ishvara. It's like pot and clay. That's why in Gita you will see two verses somewhere which says, Bhagavan says, there's no creation in me. Another place Bhagavan says, this whole thing is me. Because two different standpoints. So the person who understands this well, is blessed with unshaken vision of the reality. So another point comes up is Bhagavan's, so where do you stand? Bhagavan is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. What is your Swarupa? Same. The clay parts are there, all of so many clay parts. And you ask part, what is your Swarupa? It's clay. You ask second part, what is your Swarupa? Clay. Third part, what is your Swarupa? Clay. Similarly, all of us, what is our Swarupa? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Ishvara Swarupa is our Swarupa. That's why there can be identity developed at our Swarupa level. Upadhi is different. We are Alpagya. We don't know much about knowledge. Bhagavan is Sarvagya, knows everything. But at the Swarupa level, both are the same. You can say, Satchidanand Swarupoham. We have no mantra. Satchidanand Swarupoham. Ahameva Ahamavya. Shastra won't mention these mantras if they were not true. There's a truth in it. So Bhagavan said there's no, the person will get unshaken vision. There's no doubt about it. Natra samshayaha. Okay, 11:10. So we'll have a break. Then we'll go for number 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. Then the section is over. Let's see if we can complete it. But anyway, so we'll have 10 minutes break, okay? Just have coffee and tea, we'll come back. Short break. Because then we have puja, Ram Navami puja is there. Okay.